Hello friends, my name is Miss Abby. I'm from the La Crosse Public Library, and I'm going to take some time today to talk to you about Libby, a free app that you can use to check out, download, and read or listen to ebooks and audiobooks. All you'll need today is your school-issued device, as well as a library card to get started. Let's begin. All right, friends, let's learn Libby with the La Crosse Public Library. Our first step is to set up the app. So to begin, you'll need to download the Libby app from self-service. Once it's on your device, tap the Libby icon to open the app. It might take a few minutes to load, but when it does, you'll see this message. Welcome to Libby. And the first question you need to answer is, do you have a library card? So we're going to want to go ahead and click on the Yes button. Now we need to search for your library. So you can search for your library by entering the city or library name or zip code. I find entering the zip code the easiest way to search. So let's enter 54601. Now, because there are a number of libraries and library systems close to the zip code which use Libby, we'll have to choose the correct one. And our system is the Wisconsin Public Library Consortium, Winding Rivers Library System. So it's the first option, so you'll want to go ahead and tap on that. Next, you'll be prompted to choose your specific library location within the system. Select Choose a Location. It's quite a long list, alphabetical both by system and individual library name. So we'll have to take some time to scroll down to the L's and find the La Crosse Public Library. So keep going. Oh, we're getting closer. I might have passed the L's. All right. So we don't want La Crosse County Library. We want La Crosse Public Library. So select that library. And now you'll have to enter the 14-digit library barcode found on the back of your library card. So make sure you have that card with you. All right. So as you can see, it linked to my library card. Now I've gone ahead and renamed my library card. As you can see, it's called Miss Abby's Library Card. So when you first log into the app, if you'd like to rename your card, something convenient, something that you can remember, please go ahead and do that. All you'll need to do is click on Rename Card and then type in whatever you'd like to name it and hit Save. All right. Now it's time to browse, search, and check out materials. So we'll hit the Next button, and that will bring us to the home screen. All right, let's move on to step 2, navigating the app. Once you've linked your library card, every time you open the app, you'll see the Libby home screen or the Library tab. In the lower left-hand corner, you'll see that the word library is highlighted in blue. A few areas of note. In the upper right-hand corner, you'll see the small Libby icon. It's the gray circle with just the top part of a little girl's hair. By tapping the icon, you'll open your account main menu. So let's go ahead and do that. From here, you can manage your app notifications and those preferences. So if you click on Manage Notifications, you can choose how you would like to be notified if your loan is expiring, if your hold is ready or lapsing. So right now, I have all of my notices going to my email. You can also decide to get a menu badge, so when you open the app, you'll get notified, or you can ignore those notices as well. So it's really your preference. I think email is the most convenient, especially for holds, to notify you when they are ready. So when you're done managing your notifications, you can click Hide, and it will hide that menu. But let's go back into your main menu to see what else is available. So we'll click on the little icon. You'll be able to manage your library cards under the Your Libraries section. Here you have the option to add a library card or change library card information. Remember, Libby is through the entire state of Wisconsin, so if you were to move, you can always update your library card information. Last, you'll see the Help and Support section. If you have a specific question or want to learn more about Libby, this is the spot to try first. When you're ready to return to the home screen, simply tap the Hide button in the upper right-hand corner. So now we're back at the home screen, but before we start searching and browsing for materials, let's take a look at your shelf. So in the bottom right-hand corner, you're going to tap on Shelf, and now you see that it's highlighted in that blue or teal color. And we're at your personal shelf. Since we've just logged in, we don't have any loans, holds, or tags. But if you did, you'd be able to click on the arrow and go see everything you have checked out with further information, as well as holds that you might place. In terms of tags, as you're searching Libby, you can click the book icon next to an item, and you can add that to your to-read list. If you like something or if you dislike it, you can give it the thumbs up or thumbs down, and then it will be saved here in your tags as well. We'll come back to your shelf after we've placed holds and after we've checked out materials as well. So let's keep going. To get back to the main menu, to get back to the main page or the main library, we're going to click on the Library tab once again. So now we can begin searching and browsing. So let's find some books. So step 3, searching and browsing. Before we dive into searching, it's a great idea to set your preferences. That way, instead of getting overwhelmed by a huge number of search results, the only materials you'll see are those that fit your preferences. Remember, Libby is a library for all ages, but we'll probably want to stick to juvenile and young adult literature and audiobooks. So as you can see, there's a plus sign in a circle and the word preferences. So we're going to tap on the icon next to that word. And you can see all of the preferences that Libby offers. So the categories include format. You can leave it at any, or you can change it to book or audiobook. Language, there's a number of different languages of material offered through Libby. So if you just want English or if you're looking for something in Spanish, you can change that as well. Audience, this is one that we're going to select right away. We'll want to stick with juvenile or young adult in terms of what you'd want to be reading or listening to. Compatibility right now is set at Libby. So because you're using a school-issued device, you won't be able to use the Kindle versions of ebooks or audiobooks. So you'll want to make sure you're using a Libby-compatible version that you can read or listen in the app. Availability right now is set to everything. So oftentimes very popular titles are not available right away. But if you want to check out a book right away, or if you want to check out an audiobook and listen right away, I suggest changing this preference to available now. And then sort by, it will sort every search that you do by default, so that usually means relevance, but you can change it to popularity, date added, release date, author, or title. So how you want your search results organized. All right, so for my first search, we're going to apply some preferences. So if you want to do this along with me, we're going to apply preferences to format. We're going to change that to audiobooks, and audience, we're going to change to juvenile. And then down at the list, at the bottom of the list, you're going to want to click on that Apply Preferences button. So now our preferences are applied. So on this library home screen, you will see a number of curated lists that pop up automatically, both when you open the app or if you apply different preferences. And these are titles chosen by the Libby librarians. But what we want to do right now with those preferences applied is we're going to go ahead and search. So at the very top of your screen, you'll see a spyglass and the word search. You're going to click right on that word, and we're going to type in a search term. So let's type in the word baseball. And it's going to auto-generate a number of different titles or series. So if that's what you're looking for, you could go ahead and click on one of those, but we're just going to keyword search the term baseball. So we'll click search. So right now, the results we see are all audiobooks matching the term baseball that are also juvenile fiction or nonfiction. Up at the top, you can see if you want to limit your search or refine it, you can go ahead and click those hyperlinked terms. So if you're looking just for fiction, a story, you could click on that. If you're looking for nonfiction, you could click on that as well. You can also further refine your search. So over on the right-hand side, you'll see refine with those three little lines. If you click on that, you can choose how to further refine. So maybe right now you just really want to check out an audiobook that has a baseball theme. So you don't want to see everything that's available through Libby. You just want to see the things that you can check out right now. So if you click on availability and do available now, that's going to decrease the search results. So now instead of 20 audiobooks featuring baseball, we've moved down to 10. And you can see all of our results. So that is searching with preferences. Let's go back and do one more search. So we're going to click the library tab to go home. And we're going to change our preferences a little bit. So if you click on preferences again, we're going to change our format. We're going to change it to books. So, and click apply preferences. So this time when we search, we're just going to see children's books that correspond with our term. So this time up in the search box, let's search the keyword fantasy. So man, we have a huge list. So our results list is 2,146 books that have the term fantasy somewhere either in the title or the book information in a subject heading. So we have a lot of results. So what you definitely would want to do here is probably refine this list so you don't have so much to go through. So if we click refine again, maybe we would like to again see available now. And then maybe we want to refine and just see those in English. And then maybe we want to further refine and we'll sort by, how about we do by popularity? So what's the most popular? And so then we can kind of go through our list. So all of those, all of the books you see right now, because we changed that preference to available now, any of these you could check out. So searching and adding preferences is a great way to find exactly what you're looking for. In addition, when searching, you can search by title, author, or keyword. Now, browsing. Browsing is a little bit different than searching. Browsing is similar to if you went into a physical library and just walked up and down the aisles looking at the shelves, pulling books off, maybe flipping open to their cover flap, reading the brief description, looking at the cover. So that's what we're going to do right now as we browse, but we're going to do it in a digital format. So we're going to go back to the library. And we can keep these preferences applied, or you could remove them, or you could change them as well. So what you'll see with preferences applied is you'll see a number of books chosen by librarians again. So these lists, these curated lists, change from time to time. Right now, because we're in the month of July, this list is called Red, White, and Blue. So it's all stories about America and the Revolution. So if this type of subject would interest you, you could kind of go through this list by clicking on those titles. And you could browse through. If you wanted to learn more about a book, all you have to do is tap on the cover item. It'll give you the title, the author, a brief synopsis. If it's not available, it will not say the word borrow under the book. It will say place a hold. And you can place a hold, but it also tells you the wait time. So right now for Chains by Lori Hulse Anderson, the wait time is over 6 months. So you might want to go back and add that preference of available now if you want something to read today. So we're going to go back again, and we'll go back to the library. And we also can browse by clicking the word explore in kind of this upper right-hand corner. So we're going to click explore. And these again are just a bunch of lists that the Libby librarians have made. So there are guides, kids, teens, and then guides by genre. So romance is a genre, mystery thriller is a genre. There's also guides by newer items added to the collection, what's really popular, what's available. So that means it's ready right now. Skip the line. So that's if something was just recently returned and it's a popular title, you can go ahead and choose that. By subject, spotlight, that is similar to that red, white, and blue list, and different searches you can do. Let's select one of these explore guides. So why don't we click on what's popular? So we'll click the arrow, and we can look at all popular titles, popular books, or popular audiobooks. So let's do popular books because we were looking for ebooks just a few moments ago. So as you can see, it's still applying our preferences. So it's applying that juvenile fiction or juvenile nonfiction preference, as well as ebooks because we chose books. So right now we're seeing just a gigantic list of what's popular in terms of ebooks on Libby for juvenile readers. So you can scroll through. You probably recognize some of these titles, but again, this is everything. So if you'd want to check out something today, you're going to have to refine. So you could again refine by language, format. We've already chose books, so we don't need to refine by format. But in terms of availability, perhaps we want to check available now. So that has, our list is still quite long, but it has decreased our list. So we can go through and find something to check out immediately, which is really handy. With preferences in place, however, if we go back, some of the explore lists might be blank. So for example, if we were going to click on the guide to mystery and thriller, there's no collections that match our preferences, because usually when we think about a mystery or thriller genre, we think about adult novels. So there might be some of these explore lists with your preferences applied that don't really have anything. So we could also do what's new, and how about we do new in all titles. So we'll see a number of items that were recently added to the Libby collection. So there is quite a lot. It's going to be both audiobooks and books because we said see all. And so again, you might want to refine. So that is searching and browsing. Next, we have to discuss placing holds as well as checking out material. All right, moving on, step 4, placing holds. So in Libby, each library card user can place up to 10 holds per card. So once you hit 10, you'll have to either tag those items or jot down the names or the author so you can come back to them later. So you only can place up to 10 holds on your card. As you search or browse, take note of titles you might be interested in reading or listening to. Once you've found a title, you can learn more by tapping the cover image, as I mentioned earlier. So let's find a title that we'll have to place a hold on. So let's go back to the Explore lists and let's look at what's popular. We're going to do all titles. So how about we place a hold on Guts by Raina Telgemeier. So if you want to learn more about this book, you're going to go ahead and tap the cover image. This will bring you into the item record. You'll be able to borrow if the book is available, place a hold, read or listen to a sample, or tag the item. So you can see those options right under the book cover. So since this title is not available, we're going to place a hold. Because it's an ebook, you could open it up and read a sample. If you used up all your holds, you could also tag it. So you could add those tags that I talked about. So you could do book list, liked it, didn't like it, etc. To read a sample, it would open it up for you and you would just wait till it loads. And from left to right, or excuse me, from right to left, you'd go to get back to the main menu. You tap in the center and you'd go back. In addition to those options to learn more about the item, place a hold, borrow, you can see too that you have a brief synopsis of the book. If there are book reviews, sometimes you'll have just snippets of those reviews to read as well. If you scroll down, you'll see that if it's part of a series, you'll have the other books in the series as well. And if we have those copies, those items are hyperlinked. And if you scroll further down, you'll get more information about the item. So the format, the series, author, publisher, imprint, etc., etc. Some of the stuff that might not be as interesting to you as it is to librarians. In addition, it'll also give you maybe some other read-alikes that you'd like. So if you keep scrolling down, since Guts is not available, maybe you could look at one of the books on these auto-generated lists and choose one of those. It looks like most of them are checked out, but a few you could borrow. So let's go back up and place our hold. So what we're going to do is click on Place Hold. So it'll bring you to the Placing Hold page. So there's a few things I want you to notice. So it'll show you which library card you're going to place a hold on. And it's going to tell you how long you'd have to wait. So right now, because there are 17 copies available and 2 people waiting before you, so we have about 6 weeks to wait. That's actually a relatively short time for Libby. Some of the really popular items, you might have to wait longer. So if you see a wait that you just don't feel like you can wait for, maybe you shouldn't place a hold. So we're going to go ahead and click Place the Hold button. And it'll say you'll be sent a notification when it's ready. And so we can manage those notifications, but we already did that earlier. So now you can read a sample. If you accidentally placed a hold, you could suspend it. You can keep browsing, or you can go to your shelf. So we're going to click Go to Shelf. And now you can see that this is under your Reading Now section. So it's your hold. It's not actually in your shelf. So if you clicked on the Holds tab, you'd see it right there. And if you wanted to manage your hold, you could click on Manage Hold, and it tells you the information. You could cancel it, you could suspend it. So suspending means, let's say you know a hold is going to be available pretty soon, and you just have too much going on, maybe too much schoolwork, you'll be out of town. You can suspend a hold for a certain amount of days. So what that means is you're off the list if a book becomes available, but when your hold suspension is done, you'll go right back in the queue where you were. So if you were number 2, if you suspend your hold, when it turns back on, you're still number 2. You don't go to the very back of the list. So let's just practice doing that. Let's suspend it. Let's say we're out of town for 2 weeks. So we don't want the book to become available. So we're suspending our hold for 14 days. When it turns back on again, we'll be in the exact same part of the line where we were before. So let's go back to our holds. And that's about it in terms of placing holds. Thanks so much, friends. Next, we're going to talk about actually borrowing materials. Okay, and we're finally on to step 5, borrowing materials. So just like holds, you can borrow 10 items per library card. So if an item is available, you can borrow it by tapping borrow under the cover image, or borrow next to the smaller cover image, not actually inside the item's record. So we're going to practice borrowing both an audiobook and an ebook. So you get practice and see how it's slightly different, and the lending periods are slightly different for the two different types of materials. So we're still on that what's popular explore list, but this time we're going to refine by available now. So we're going to click refine, and we're going to do available now. So as you can see, any of these items, they're available to borrow immediately. So you can scroll down, and I think I would like to borrow the one and only Ivan. So if I wanted to borrow Ivan just from this list, I would click the word borrow next to the cover, but I'm actually going to go into the record, the one and only Ivan, and I'm going to click borrow underneath the book cover. So the first thing you're going to see up at the top is the message about what you're borrowing. So it says, you are borrowing the one and only Ivan for 7 days. Now, not many of us can finish a book in 7 days. So you do have the option to extend the lending period, but you have to do it before you borrow the item. So you're going to click on 7 days, and you can choose 7 days, 14 days, or 21 days for ebooks. For audiobooks, the lending period is 7 days and 14 days. So you want to make sure it's correct. So for this book, I want 21 days or 3 weeks. So it's changed to 21 days, and I'm going to go ahead and borrow. So right now, I could open the book, I could keep browsing, or I could go to the shelf. So what I'm going to do is keep browsing, because I also want to check out an audiobook before we open it up. And then we'll go to our shelf and look at our books. And as you can see, the little circle next to the cover image, that is the icon showing that it's downloaded to your device. You do not have to download ebooks or audiobooks to your device if you want to save space. However, you will not be able to read or listen if you are offline. You will have to be connected to the internet. So I think it's always a good idea to just let the item download automatically and not delete it. But if your device is super full, I could see why you'd want to save space. So let's keep browsing. That will bring us back to our what's popular list. And this time, we're going to go up to the top and we're going to refine by format, because remember, we want an audiobook. But what we're going to do is we're going to change our preferences. And we're going to do that as audiobooks and apply. All right, so right now, these are popular audiobooks that are available immediately. So you can scroll down and see all of the different options. And I think I'm going to check out The House of Hades by Rick Riordan. So I'm going to click on the cover image, and we're back in the items record, and I'm going to hit borrow again. Again, we're taken to that borrow screen, and I want to change the lending period as well. Audiobook, I would like it to be 14 days. It's correct. I'm going to borrow. Now, just so you know, audiobooks tend to take a little bit longer to download, especially if they are quite lengthy, but they still download, especially if your connection is strong. They still download pretty quickly. So now with my ebook checked out and my audiobook checked out, I would like to go to my shelf. So we're going to click on Go to Shelf. And right now we're in our holds. So we'll go back to the main menu of the shelf and we can see what we're reading now. So we have our holds. We're not reading it, but we hope to read it soon. And we have our recent loans. And so what we're going to do, we'll go to our loans and we can go ahead and open up our book. So we'll open up our ebook first. So you just tap on the cover and it's going to ask you where you'd like to read The One and Only Ivan. You always are going to want to choose the Libby app because you have your school issued device. They are unlikely Kindle compatible unless you have downloaded and taken the extra steps to have the Kindle app on your device. So it'll just, in terms of ease of use, we'll just want to choose Read Book in the Libby app. All right, so it will open on the cover page or the cover, and there's a couple of different ways to navigate a book. So you can navigate by chapters. You can click on the chapter. Let's say you want to skip the dedication, the glossary, maybe you want to go to the table of contents. So you can click on that hyperlinked chapter and it'll bring you right to the table of contents. So what's also nice about ebooks is you can see the different chapters are hyperlinked. So if you maybe read part of a book with the actual physical copy and now have the ebook and you need to jump ahead, you can go ahead and do that. So I'm going to jump to The Loneliest Gorilla in the World. So I'm already to that chapter. Now, as you can see, that main menu disappeared. If you need to get it back, you just tap in the center of your screen. And so now I have the main menu. To remove it, you just tap again. To move through your book, you're just going to swipe from right to left or left to right. Okay. There are some other options too when you're reading. So if you want to search within the book, you can type on the spyglass icon. So let's say there was a quote that you really liked or something you wanted to get back to, you can search within the book. You can also play around with how big the font is. You can also play around with the lighting as well. So if you're reading at night, you might want to read in dark mode, you might want to read in sepia, or you might want to do bright. So we can change that and then hide. So that's going to change the color of the text. You can also bookmark as well. So it shows you right how to do this. If to place a bookmark, you're going to tap the top right corner of the page. To create a highlight, you're going to tap and hold a word, then swipe right or left. So you can do this if there's something you want to come back to, if there's a page you really like. It's a great feature as well for your ebooks. So like if I wanted to bookmark this page, I would just go like that and it's bookmarked. And when you leave a book, it's going to remember where you left off. So right now we're on page 31. If we want to go back, we're out of the book. If we open it back up, we should be on page 31 again, which we are. So it remembers where you are in your book or audiobook, even if you don't bookmark it. Bookmarks are more for going back to something you want to remember you really, really like. Okay. So now let's open our audiobook. So we're going to click on our audiobook. Ooh, that's strange, that color. But audiobooks are similar to ebooks, but you're going to have your main page throughout. So you're going to have the cover image, and you can jump around by chapters, but it's going to take you to the time in the book, not necessarily the page. We're going to hide that. You can play with the speed of the reading. So usually you probably want to keep it at what it's set at, but if you want it to read a little bit faster, you can mess around with that. But normal reading is the 1.00x. So you can play around with that. If you're listening at night, you can choose a preset run time. So like let's say you wanted to listen to a book as you fell asleep, you could choose for it to go for 15 minutes then shut off, or maybe till the end of the chapter. But it's really nice if you're going to bed listening to an audiobook. You can also bookmark as well in the audiobook, so you can jump back to spots in the book that you might want to listen to again. And you just do that by tapping in the upper right-hand corner. And we are done. So, and if you open up the book again, the audiobook, it's going to remember where you left off. But let's say you wanted to listen to the previous minute of the book. You can always rewind by 15 seconds or go ahead by 15 seconds by clicking the 15 icon with the arrows. So that's navigating your audiobook as well. All right, so let's go back to our library. I hope this was a helpful tutorial on Libby. I know we covered a lot of material quickly, but remember, if you have any questions about Libby or any of the library's other digital resources, don't hesitate to contact your friendly youth services librarians. All right, friends, I hope you feel a little bit more confident and comfortable using Libby. Remember, if you have any questions or are struggling to get the app to work, please give us a call at the Youth Services Desk at the La Crosse Public Library. Our number is 608-789-7128, and we'll be able to walk you through any technical difficulties. You can also email us at yservicesstaff@lacrosselibrary.org. And remember, even though the library is closed, if you'd like us to pull a number of books for you, or if there are certain books or authors you'd love to check out and read, you can also give us a call and we'll pull book bundles or we'll help you request a specific title. I hope you're taking good care, friends, and we hope to see you all soon at the La Crosse Public Library. Bye-bye.